In S.W.A.T episode 10, Miko was dating Deacon's sister-in-law, which was awkward because Deacon was both of their bosses. Deacon recently returned to work. His wife was working now as well, and so they brought in her sister to be their nanny for a while. They love Nicole. They trust her. She's living with them. They knew she didn't always pick the perfect guy, but they didn't know she'd be so messy as to get involved with someone on Deacon's unit. Deacon still has to work with Miko. It doesn't even matter if Nicole and Miko break up because Deacon still has to work alongside Miko. And that's why Miko should have told him about the relationship from the start. Nicole and Miko were secretly dating. Neither side wanted to tell Deacon. Miko was worried about working with him after that, and Nicole just thought it was hot that they were fooling around behind Deacon's back. It was all pretty harmless until Miko realized he lost his badge. He's lost his badge once before in Long Beach. He endured months of merciless mockery as a result. The other cops put toy badges in his locker, and he couldn't wait to get away. Miko doesn't want to deal with the same thing now that he's lost his badge again. Miko thought he left his badge at Deacon's house. He tried calling Nicole. She wasn't answering, and he couldn't go to Deacon. Miko was considering sneaking into Deacon's house without his knowledge when work called. The team was brought in to deal with a hostage situation. There was a crew that shot at cops and ran off. Most of them anyways. There was one guy that the police shot in his leg, and so he chose to hide inside of a police car. He even took the woman arrested in the back seat as a hostage. The woman was a prostitute. She also held onto her mace. She maced her captor, and S.W.A.T moved in. They freed her. They ultimately killed her captor. They wanted to know why that man and the men he was with had searched a nearby truck before ultimately killing the driver. The only one that could help was the hostage. She talked to her captor. She said he was afraid of going to jail because he knew he'd be killed on the inside. He and his crew apparently lost something big. He mentioned cocaine, and it seems his buddies were still looking for it. They went on the run but still found the time to search other cargo trucks. S.W.A.T investigated the situation. They found out that a cartel was moving drugs by hiding them in a pop star's equipment. The pop star didn't know about it. The cartel that was identified as Los Altos was also willing to kill to get back what's theirs, and that's what happened. They lost track of their drugs. It was about $24 million worth of cocaine that they lost. If they got arrested before they got that cocaine back, they knew they'd be murdered in prison for their failure. The pop star's name is Valentina. She was in rehearsals when the cartel came in shooting first. They looked through several of Valentina's trunks. They couldn't find anything, and S.W.A.T caught up to some of them. They killed one of the cartel members at the scene. The others got away. The same for the drugs. S.W.A.T looked through the footage from rehearsals. There was one unidentified woman who was seen moving the rabbit trunk. The drugs were apparently put in that trunk by accident, and this woman walked off with it without anyone realizing. The woman was later identified as Lola Faye. She was Valentina's backup singer. She could have escaped with the drugs, and strangely, she chose to go through with her gig as a backup singer. Lola wants to go solo one day. She wants to have her own album. She found the drugs, and she kept them on herself in the hopes of passing them on to a producer that would give her studio time. It was a dumb plan, especially when you take into account that the cartel was actively hunting her. They shot up rehearsals after she left. She must have heard what happened from her friends. She shouldn't have tried to hold on to the drugs now that she knows dangerous people are looking for them. She also could have turned it over to the police if she was smart. Lola ignored a way out of the situation, and her showing up at the venue for the concert meant that Los Altos also showed up for the concert. S.W.A.T went to the venue. They split up to cover more ground, and Miko had his badge back by then. Miko finally came clean with Deacon about dating Nicole. Deacon already knew about it. He found Miko's badge and has just been waiting for Miko to come clean to return it to him. Deacon doesn't mind that Nicole and Miko are dating. He just doesn't want them fooling around at his house or around his kids. They can always go to Miko's place for that. Deacon returned Miko's badge. They agreed to pretend like Deacon doesn't know about the relationship. They also eventually took down the cartel members, and he recovered the drugs, but then Hondo had to deal with a problem at home. Hondo's cousin was in town. He just moved back from Houston. He also borrowed money from a loan shark, and he left without paying that money back. Well, that loan shark showed up in LA. He threw a brick through Hondo's window. He threatened Hondo's family, and so Hondo dealt with it. He paid back what his cousin owed. He put his cousin on a payment plan to pay him back, and Andre ignored all of that to go back on the run. Thank you for watching.